Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Magnificent. I have a very special guest for you today. This was actually kind of just spur of the moment, but we kind of been planning for quite some time. It is none other than cousin cop Ryan Knight. Ryan, thank you so much for coming on to the show. I know you're in Indiana right now and you're working, but
Yep.
but thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to get on this podcast with me.
Hey, not a problem, cousin. Not a problem. Thanks for having me on here.
Hey, I mean, what was it? Ever since you and I went on that ride along on Black Friday, that was something to definitely have people listen to. Not the ride along itself, but the stories along with it.
Oh yeah, plenty of stories, plenty of plenty of other things that have happened since that day.
Yeah, I'm sure. And I mean, like, so let's start off on the bat. Like, everybody's like, okay, you guys are cousins, but how are we cousins? I'll let you take the floor and explain kind of the family tree.
So, I think my mom's aunt. It was Maxine. I know that much. That's how we were related. But as far as the actual what the timeline is and everything like that, I think we're considered second, third cousins. Something like that. Not direct, but
Yeah,
just few married in.
yeah. Few married in and, intertwined and everything like that. It's very complicated, but either way, we're still family. So
your mom is cousins with my mom, and therefore here we are.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And now, how long have you been a police officer?
I've been a police officer. This will be 10 years this August.
Oh, well, congratulations on your 10-year anniversary.
Oh, well, thank you, man.
Yeah, no problem. So how did you want to get into being a police officer? Because everybody has different kind of ways in how they want to get into being a police officer.
Well, it wasn't my first choice, I'll tell you that. My first choice was I was going to go into some type of computers, because in high school I really loved doing kind of like architecture type stuff with computers and computer aided stuff. So I was really big into that. So I tried going that route in the beginning, but to get to the classes that I wanted to take in college, I had to do computer programming. That was not me. I could not program a very simple calculator on these computer programs. But so I started just doing absolutely just piss poor in college, and I said, you know what, I started gaining a lot of weight, started having migraines probably every day. A couple of times I had to go to the hospital due to the migraines. So I was like, you know what, I need to change it up. All this stuff isn't worth it. So my dad was a police officer for 27 years. So I kind of just followed in his footsteps. I knew kind of the job, so I had him kind of teach me a little bit and give me a little bit more information on it. And once I made the decision to change majors to criminal justice, that was it from there. I put every second to being a cop, started focusing on my fitness, laws, defensive tactics, so like jiu-jitsu and things like that. Just started focusing on all that other stuff to move towards this career option, and I'm very glad I did it.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, the crazy thing is, like, you take this thing very seriously. You're a very macho kind of guy, so of course that would make total sense that you would become a police officer.
I only look macho.
Right. Well, if I recall, what was it when you and I were drinking coffee and you made the comment to me, and I've actually had one more person tell me this comment, but was it real men drink their coffee black?
Yeah, you don't need any additives to coffee.
Taste the bitterness of the black dark roast. You'll be
That's right.
fine.
Right. You don't need any of that additives. You don't want your coffee to be sweet.
Of course not. Of course not. So, back to being a police officer. Of course, we were talking about our ride along situation, and I'm sure you remember the kind of lay down of what you kind of told me when we got into the car. You told me um uh you can that I could choose any type of genre of music.
Yep.
You
Yep.
said you
Yep.
said
Spotify was wide open.
yep. So you're like, I don't care what it is. And then I just go, all right, I got one. And he said, oh shit, what is it?
Yeah. Yeah.
I said, I want the theme song to Cops and let's go.
And what did we play?
We played
the theme song to Cops.
We played the theme song to Cops on a ride along. That's right. And I tell you what, I think the song was still going when we made what was it? I think when we made our first traffic stop.
Yep.
Which
I'm sure it was.
Which was pretty badass.
It was probably before I had my cup of coffee if we had just started.
No, you were drinking your cup of coffee. You were just drinking it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah. At least I had it. At least I had that.
Yeah, and I think I made a little donut joke to you. And
you're well, like, what person doesn't make a donut joke?
Oh, of course. And it's also very funny because I think the comment that you said after that was, "We don't eat donuts in this car."
No, I do not eat donuts in uniform.
And why is that?
I don't want to be the fat cop stereotype. So I work hard not to be.
Oh, I love it. Now, what was probably out of that whole entire situation, because I have my favorite kinds of moments, but what was your favorite moment at that whole entire experience with the ride along with me? What one stands out in your mind? I mean, I know you had to work and I just had to sit in the car and watch, but out of that whole entire day, like what would you say was, I don't know, your favorite or your most memorable?
Dude, to be honest with you, that's been so long ago, and I have had so many cars, had so many ride-alongs, and they all seem to be right about the same type of thing. So if I had to like narrow it down to a specific incident that happened on that day, dude, I don't remember one. Not gonna lie to you.
That's insane because first responders like yourself and everything just kind of gets crammed all into one, like where they say, hey, what was your most memorable situation on the job, and they honestly really either have to really think hard or they can't think of it at all because it's all swarmed into one.
Yeah, the ones that stick with you the most, unfortunately, are the ones that either are the worst situations, and that's just unfortunate. It's the ones that, ones where things turn out absolutely great from a very shitty beginning, or the ones that just end absolutely horribly. And those are the ones that stick with you the most. The ones where you tell yourself, could I have done more to change this or anything like that? And those are the hardest ones and the ones that stick with you the most.
Right. Now, have you had to go to any sort of therapy, or do do different departments give you that opportunity to when certain situations like that happen? Do they usually go and say, hey, take a couple of days off, go see this person, talk with them, and and stuff like that? Because I know with military they have that, but I from what I've been told by military friends is it's not the greatest. So I figured I'd ask you about that.
They offer it, they offer all the resources that you could ever need. But mostly just the people you work with are the best ones to talk to about the situation. I had good supervisors, other great officers, other admin was great. So if they saw that something was affecting me, they would pull me aside, talk to me about it, and basically just give me free reign of, like, if anything is going on, I always was comfortable going to them with anything and everything. So for the therapy part, it wasn't necessary for me, just because of the people I had around me.
Oh, okay. And from what I've heard, like whether military purposes or in the police officer kind of group, you guys are like a band of brothers and sisters, and you guys all definitely lean on each other for sure. And it
Yeah,
seems like that's the case, with
yeah,
that situation.
yeah. Lean on each other and look out for everybody else.
Okay.
That's exactly what we do.
Okay. Now, what would you say is very beneficial of being a police officer?
I think the benefits for me is just the good outcomes. Being able to go to a terrible call, make the situation better as best as we can, regardless of what the outcome would be. But to change someone's to change someone's life for the better, that is probably the most beneficial thing that I've ever ever had in this job. So any type of bad call and good things come out of it. You change people's lives. You give them another chance for a better outcome. I think that is probably the most beneficial, because they remember that, you remember that, they remember you, and I think that's just wonderful.
Yeah, that is definitely true. I would say, I like, what was it? I remember I was driving down this one road, and a buddy of mine had lost his dog, and I was in a hurry because he was like in panic. And as I was driving, I passed by a cop, and I looked to my left and looked down at my speedometer, and I was about 10 miles over or so.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, ooh. So I slowed right down, and that cop tailed me for a couple, probably a half mile, and then put the lights on. And uh, I mean, is it true that if you can make a cop laugh, that you might get off a little easy?
For the most part, with me, as long as people, are respectful and not assholes, I'm gonna work with you the best I can.
Right.
That's just the mutual respect. I give you respect, you give me respect. We're gonna go our separate ways as best as we can. So yeah, just all you gotta do is be respectful for me.
Yeah, because I mean, I was respectful. I remember you telling me don't say sir a lot or ma'am a lot, because then they'll be thinking that it's suspicious and stuff like that.
You could say it at the very beginning,
Oh
but
yeah,
but it's not like the military to where every single answer has to be followed up with sir or ma'am.
right, right. And so that's what I was trying to think. I'm like, all right, don't say it too much then, because like, of course, that was the first time ever that I've gotten pulled over, which I'm gonna break my arm, pat myself on the back on that one. So, so but yeah, and I just, and the cop was like, you know why I pulled you over? I was like, yeah, I was speeding. He goes, yeah. He goes, license and registration. I go, here you go. And he goes, so why were you speeding? And I explained it to him, and I told him exactly what had happened. Like, I saw you, and then I looked down at my speedometer just to double check, and I went, ooh. And the guy completely started busting out laughing. I was like, okay, and let's not, keep my hopes up here. But I'm like, all right, I just made the cop laugh. All right, cool. He came back, and he goes, all right, well, since you don't have any prior like offenses, you don't have any warrants or anything like that, he goes, just slow down, good luck finding your buddy's dog and this and that. And
Yep.
he's like, just be careful next time. And I was like, yep, absolutely, thanks. And then what was really cool was it was a little bit after the whole George Floyd thing and all, and people were going against police and everything. I told the guy, I was like, hey, before you go, whatever you're doing, keep doing it. I could definitely say like thank you for keeping the roads and everything in the community safe and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So because I had like not all cops are bad. Like just like all teachers are not out to get you. Like
Right.
there's all those sour apples and stuff like that, and you just gotta
Yep.
appreciate the good ones and say
And,
thank you and everything like that. So
right. And for the most part, the majority of the public, they like us.
yeah, I mean, because you guys truly keep people safe, and it's been throughout history. Like even though like trying to catch the bad guy may take a few days or something like that. For the most part, you guys, I would say from the West Coast to the East Coast, north, south, it don't matter. Like you guys are out to do a job. You guys are putting your guys' lives on the line, and we got to be more appreciative and say thank you, and because you guys do give a sacrifice.
Yeah. No, and I understand. Some people's situation, they don't always have good interactions with cops, and like you said, there are some out there that are just out there to be complete bullies. But when it comes down to it, a very vast majority are just regular human beings coming out there and just doing the job, and then just trying to get home at the end of the day.
Right, absolutely. But let's get off the topic of being a police officer. You're a person too. You're a normal guy with a family and everything like that.
Yeah.
So, since it's March, I'm sure you're pretty heartbroken about how IU lost in March Madness.
Honestly, I'm not heartbroken because I had them beating. I honestly didn't have Miami winning that game. I had them as an upset, but both the games that I saw that Miami played, they came to play.
Right. Oh yeah, absolutely.
So I'm not heartbroken that IU lost because it was a damn good game played by a damn good team. So I can't be heartbroken at that.
Right.
And would I have liked the Hoosiers to win? Absolutely.
Right.
But when it comes down to it, if the other team played better, then hey, they get it. They get it. Miami played strong.
Yeah, that is very much true. And I mean, they're going on. Who are they playing now? I forget who
they're playing. Houston right now.
Yeah, they're playing Houston right now. So
the only reason I know that is because I got March Madness pulled up, watching it, talking to you.
Attaboy. Way to multitask. Meanwhile, I'm making sure that the cell phone doesn't fall off my mic, and I'm making sure that all the time and everything is looking good. So I'm multitasking in a different sense.
Yeah, you got the harder work.
Right, exactly. Yeah. But hey, I was meant to do this stuff, so I mean, going to school for it and everything. So hey.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, and don't worry. By the time you hear this, you'll be sounding pretty.
Oh God, I hope so. Don't make me sound too southern.
No, of course not.
I don't need all your northern friends to laugh at me.
I'm sure, and which we've talked about that too, to where when I introduce you to those guys, like it's gonna be some funny stuff right there.
Yep, they're gonna be like, "Damn, you really sound like that." Yeah, I really sound like that.
Yeah. Hey, but nothing's wrong with that. Absolutely not.
No, but I know this happens with my mom when it comes to accents. I can always tell whenever she talks to your mom, because she always gains a little bit of a northern accent after talking to your mom.
Oh, that's funny because
they talk for 5-6 hours at a
time. Oh yeah, absolutely. And what's funny is my mom actually gets the countryside from your mom, and then gets that southern accent, and she starts talking in the southern accent sometimes after she finishes it. So she goes, she's like, "I got a call from Debbie." I'm like, "You got a what?"
And you're just like, yeah, I can tell. And the same thing, because I'll be talking to her, and she'll say something with a northern accent. I'm like, you talked to Rhonda today? Yeah, sure did.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, that's awesome. That's so funny. Oh man. So, I would say let's continue on talking about yourself away from being a police officer. But since I figured we transition this because you are a father,
Yeah,
do you do a lot of dad jokes?
I do a few.
Oh yeah.
I do a few. I get a lot of mine from from a guy online, actually.
No kid.
Yeah.
Oh, on like TikTok or something.
No, I refuse to get TikTok. I'm old. Um, I still use Facebook. I still use Instagram. So all you young people, leave me alone.
So you pretty much just go on Instagram or Facebook, you said,
Yeah.
and get it from there.
Yep. For the most part.
Nice, nice.
for the most part. But
Oh well,
no, my kids aren't old enough yet to where they understand the dad jokes.
right.
So once they get old enough to where I can really start embarrassing them with them,
Oh yeah.
that's when I'll hit it hard.
Oh yeah. So about teenage years.
Oh, probably before that.
Oh okay. All right. Well,
We'll see what happens.
well, I figured I'd give you this one, and this is the dad joke of the episode. All right.
Okay.
So, because you are a father and because you are a police officer, I figured this would be a perfect fit for you.
All righty.
All right. And the dad joke is my toddler is refusing to nap. He's guilty of resisting arrest.
Yep. That is actually one of the ones I've heard this dude say.
Nice. 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 Yep. So that was dad joke of the episode. And speaking of, being a father, like, of course, is your oldest at the age now to where he's playing t-ball? Because I know you were a really big baseball player back in the day.
Yeah. He starts t-ball. His first game is in a couple weeks. So yeah, we are definitely getting prepared for t-ball.
Now, are you head coach, assistant coach? Are you coaching at all?
I am not coaching at all because the way my work schedule is, I could not give the time because I work second shift. So my shift is from 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. Gotcha. So prime practice times, I'm at work. And gotcha. So no coaching for me. Now, I don't know if I have the patience for it anyway.
Oh, okay. No harm done. No harm done. I mean, shoot. I mean, my dad didn't coach me when I was younger, but of course, he was busy like how he is, and I mean, it makes sense. When you get older, it's like, oh yeah, priorities first and stuff like that. And but
yeah. Now for games and stuff like that, I've already put in my off days for those, so that way I can make those.
Right.
But when it comes to practices and stuff like that, I'll let the coach handle that, and we can work on stuff at home.
Yeah.
When I'm off.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm sure as your boys will get older, you can take them to the batting cages and and teach them different things, and so.
Oh yeah.
Because what positions did you play in high school? And
in high school, I was third base.
Oh, okay.
Everywhere, anytime before that, I played everywhere.
Gotcha.
So it's just kind of get a feel of every spot. And in high school, I stuck to third base because I had a pretty decent arm to get it across the field, and I do a lot better when I don't have to think about what to do when the ball's coming at me.
Yeah.
At third, it's coming so fast, it's more reaction. I play better that way.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
because even when it came to old man softball, you'd have the third baseman play near almost the outfield because they hit it so hard, but I couldn't do that.
Right.
I'd play even with the bag just so I could have that reaction. that reaction instead of thinking about it.
Now, how many years have you played old man softball?
I actually haven't played in a while because of my work schedule. But I probably played for about 6 years.
Okay.
6 years in total. But it was one of those travel teams where we would go all around the state, in Indiana, Kentucky, just go out, play tournaments, see what we could do.
So you were one of like the really, really good guys then, like on those tournament teams and everything.
Now I was still playing E.
I was about to say, like, were you playing like D and all those higher up ones?
We played a couple of D tournaments because we had a couple guys that could hit home runs, but just it was like one. It was one maybe two that could actually hit it out, and again they had to get lucky. So it's not like they were hitting home runs every time.
Right. Yeah, so I mean, I'll stick to E League.
So. I'll definitely stick to E League. I'm not a home run hitter.
I've only hit 2 home runs, and that's about it. So we'll see what happens this season, but we'll find out.
Did you get called out for them?
No, actually, I didn't.
Oh, okay.
They were the lucky ones.
You were playing in the right league at that time when you hit.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, what is it? I think it's you can get 1 home run, but the next one is an out kind of situation.
Yeah, it really depends on the tournament because I know there were some tournaments we played. If you hit a home run, you're out and the inning's over.
Yeah. No, so, we didn't play like that. We actually play at this bar and grill kind of place. So they have softball, they got axe throwing, they got cornhole, what else do they have? Bowling, all that kind of stuff. So they have different leagues for different situations. So, and then they just got a bunch of softball fields out there, and so yeah, it's not that bad of a place. I mean, there were a couple of hiccups here and there, but I know the guy that's now running it, and he's a really good guy. He's been doing a lot of slow pitch softball for many years, so I'm sure he'll be a great addition to the slow pitch softball league, and so we'll have to see what happens.
It's always helpful to have someone with experience, especially when it comes to pitching.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So, but man, so what advices could you give as a father? I know you're a father of 2 toddlers. So
patience.
Patience.
Patience, because there will be times where they will drive you crazy, especially when you've been working 3rd shift for a while, and then all you want to do is sleep, but you can't because one is an infant.
Right.
So a lot of patience. And then just get your kids involved in anything and everything that you can. Because I got my son into Taekwondo, just for something extra for him to do, and he really enjoyed it and stuck with it for a while until I had a shift change. But I mean, just get them involved in anything and everything you can, just to broaden their horizons. Maybe there's something out there that you didn't think that they would like, but they actually turned out to love it, type of deal.
Okay, I can definitely respect that one. But it's come down to the wire here, and I need to get me another cup of water, so we're gonna take a quick break.
All right.
And we're back. So we were talking off air about the fact that, of course we're family and everything like that. But you had mentioned that on the first episode of Mattnificent that I was talking with my buddy Rob about getting the bowl cut.
Yeah.
In which I'm sure you remember that very well growing up.
I do remember that very well growing up because I know exactly where you got the idea.
And where was that?
That would be for me.
You had a bowl cut, huh?
I rocked the bowl cut at a young age.
Oh.
Not by choice, but yes, I did.
Well, let's see. So when did you rock the bowl cut?
I probably rocked the bowl cut until 6 or 7.
6 or 7.
Somewhere around there.
So that was around what year? Like what years?
96, 97 at the latest.
Okay, so like it was normal though. 90s haircut.
Yeah, early 90s that just my mom would not let me get away from.
Yeah, I mean, it's totally understandable. Like, I was born in 97, so like having that, haircut was normal. But once the 2000s hit, I think it was time for a change.
Yes.
So,
yes, it was definitely time for a change.
I mean, everybody went from, having the longer hair to shorter, spiky hair and everything like that, which you went down that route as well.
Yeah, that one was more of my dad's doing. Yeah, he was that was the baseball cut all year round. So
right,
high and tight, and honestly, I just kept. I tried to do the hair flip up in the front, but I couldn't rock it as well as my brother could. He had a better hook for it. Right. So I just kept mine short.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean
until high school, then I grew it out a whole lot.
Yeah, you did grow it out a little bit. Yeah, you did. Yeah, I can still remember you rolling up to Grandma Maxine's house, and I think this is when you first got your driver's license and stuff like that. Like you got that. What was it? Your black. What was that small car?
No, I never had a black one.
Was it a dark blue?
My very first car was a ugly blue 2000 Ford Taurus.
That's what it was. I'm like, it was a smaller car, but I don't remember what it was. But yeah, it was blue. It was that blue colored Ford Taurus. Yeah.
And I switched my mom cars as soon as she got her new car.
Right. Yeah.
I switched to a nice Toyota Camry.
Ah.
It had a better sound system.
No, I'm sure. And you were all about that sound system back then.
Oh, yeah. The only way to listen to music is loud.
Right, absolutely. I mean, people say like, hey, like you're going to hurt your ears. I'm like, well, give me hearing aids.
I've been doing it for a whole long time as far as listening to music really loud. I can still hear pretty well.
Now, what would you say is your like go-to like genre?
I'm pretty wide open. It just kind of depends on the day. Sometimes it's country, sometimes it's metal, sometimes it's classic rock, sometimes it's 80s, sometimes it's punk, sometimes it's hip hop. I'm pretty wide open when it comes to music.
Oh, absolutely. All right, so say date night, you and Britt are going out, right? Just the two of you. What are you putting on?
Oh, I'm putting on country.
Yeah.
I'm putting on country.
Anybody specific?
Big fan of Chris Young.
Oh, yeah.
Big fan of Chris Young. Because when it comes to music, I have to choose also what my wife likes.
So happy wife, happy life. Isn't that right?
Yes, that's exactly right. So when it comes to things, because I know very well what she can stand and what she can't. So avoid the things she can't stand and just stick to the ones she does.
Now, is she a big fan of like Morgan Wallen or Luke Combs? Because those guys are really hot right now.
She is part of the Eric Church group. That is her all-time favorite country music.
Now, have you gone and seen Eric Church at all?
3 or 4 times.
Wow.
3 or 4 times.
That's insane.
Almost any time he's in Louisville, I try to get tickets so we can go.
Good stuff, dude.
It's usually the plan.
Good stuff. Awesome. Yeah, I mean, what was it, like the most times I've seen someone, and this wasn't even on purpose. This was just purely on accident. Keith Urban.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it was completely on accident the whole entire time. Like I went to go see him on purpose because a friend of mine wanted me to go see him, and so I went to go see him, and then I think I saw him like two more times. The second one was when he was at this. He was at he was in Detroit, and he was at a theater, and he was doing like an acoustic thing with a whole bunch of other country artists, and so
Mhm.
saw him pretty much out of the blue, and so it's mainly like I'm not going out and being like, oh, let's go see him again. It's like, oh, he's there, or you know, I'm like, okay, yeah, let's go
Yeah,
see him.
he's there. Let's go.
Yeah, like we saw him before. Let's go
Oh
see
yeah.
him. So
No, Eric Church never puts on a bad show. I haven't had a bad show with him.
Now, is he always wearing his sunglasses?
Always.
Always. Now, do you know the meaning behind that? Either it's because he's trying to be different or what.
I don't know the meaning behind it. I haven't researched it enough to actually learn about it. But I mean, that's it. That's been his look ever since the his Chief album.
Yeah, yeah.
So
his Chief album. Yeah. After that, like he was just Cool Hand Luke, you know.
That's just been his look ever since.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, shoot, Johnny Cash is the Man in Black, and Eric Church the man with the Ray-Ban sunglasses.
That's right. So much he had to make a song about it.
Yeah, yeah. You should do the Sunglasses at Night cover. See how that goes, country style. We'll have to see that. But so you would definitely say that you're a very well-rounded person.
I would say.
As a teenager, what was kind of your main go-to?
Teenager, it was really big into metal and hip hop as a teenager.
I definitely remember that.
With a little sprinkling of punk and alternative thrown in, but it was definitely anything that hit loud and hard.
Definitely sounds like the Biggest Rebellion kind of playlist that you would want to put on there. So.
Yeah, and with my dad being a cop, I had to be one of the worst rebels I could be.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely! You freaking badass, you.
I wouldn't go that far.
Well, so and speaking of being rebellion, I mean, people want to consider this being rebellion, but tattoos. I know you got tattoos. I have tattoos. So how many tattoos total do you have?
Currently, I have 3. I have gotten 4.
You have gotten 4. Okay.
So I have had 1 removed.
Gotcha. And I think I know which one is that one, but for the folks that are listening, why don't you share that with us?
Oh man, you're gonna humiliate me. Okay.
gotta roast a little bit of my guess, but not too bad. Not too bad.
At the time I got that one, I was really big into Avenged Sevenfold. So I got their death bat tattooed on my arm.
Absolutely love it. I mean, shoot, I'll admit I have a Rocky quote on my ribs, and I have a Rocky picture on my biceps. So, for people that love, a certain band or movie or franchise, no harm done it, in getting a tattoo like that. But what made you want to like remove it or cover it up or something like that?
It was after I got it off of a whim. It was just a complete impulse buy. And after I think it was only like a few months, I just started looking at it. I was like, man, I don't know if I want this anymore. I just got tired of looking at it because it had nothing to do with the band. I still like the band. I plan on going to see them in September for Louder Than Life.
Oh, nice.
But, yeah, I don't know. Just all of a sudden, one day it just clicked. It's like, no, I think it's time to go.
So pretty much you just outgrew it is pretty much what had happened.
Yeah. Hmm.
And I mean that happens with different tattoos. I mean, people outgrow them or whatnot, and that's why with mine, I would say like I just try and think about it for X amount of time, and I mean I'm getting my fourth one um next week, Friday. So
There you go.
yeah, so it's gonna be a wolf tribal. It's gonna be pretty badass. I'm very
Yeah.
excited for it.
Yep. I can't wait for my next one.
What's your next one gonna be?
Mine is going to be very, very common. It's going to be, I'm going to get a lion sleeve on my left arm.
Oh,
So
nice.
it'll represent, every member of the family.
I love it. I absolutely love it. That's really
So
cool. Because your other arm, you got a sleeve or you got half a sleeve?
I started with a half, but I had a policy named after me at the department because I accidentally violated it by getting it. So then when they changed the policy, I said, well, now that I changed it, I'll go ahead and do a little bit longer. So it goes all the way down to about my wrist, but doesn't completely cover the entire arm. But again, that is also a work in progress.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, usually sleeves are. I mean, I know one guy that I work with. I'm gonna try and get him on the podcast. He's a hoot, but he's got a full sleeve, and it's mainly dedicated to his two kids, and it's an amazing work of art. I mean, he had what was it? It took him probably over a year to get
Mm-hmm.
this thing done. So, but it's an incredible piece of art. I mean, it was just a pleasure just watching. Every time he would come into work, he'd be like, "Hey, check out what I got done," and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
I absolutely love it. I
so
absolutely love it.
yeah,
I just
I
just need more money to get it.
yeah,
That's it.
exactly. I mean, like it sucks that they cost quite a bit of money, but like when they're done and you can just show them off, and they just look cool, and they're pure art.
Yeah,
They're just
yeah,
permanent art on your body that you forever will have. And I say, you took risks. Like, what was it? I think I saw this thing on Facebook where it's like when you get older and you have tattoos, that shows that you took risks in life. You were rebellious in some sort of sense, and you didn't care what other people thought.
yeah.
And
Yeah, but it's hard. It's hard to call it rebellious anymore because they're so common.
oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I mean,
It's not even a rebellious act really anymore,
no,
which
no, it's not.
I'm perfectly okay with.
Me too. I mean, shoot, like I also saw another post where it was, doctors had them, police officers had them,
Yep,
teachers, all that stuff. They,
yep.
somebody, at least one person that in your entire life, at least has
Oh yeah,
a tattoo or more.
right.
And does it make them a bad person? No, it's a piece of artwork that they just thought was cool, and they wanted to have it permanently on their body. Now, yes, it is permanent, which is why you should think about it like really, really hard. But
Yes,
but
and after having one removed, definitely,
yes,
def, it that, that. But again, that's my opinion. I'm not saying for everybody. Just everything has to be thought out. If you have an impulse and you want this, have at it, buddy.
right.
Just because if you end up like my situation, the financial hurt is a lot more than the actual pain itself.
Right, right. So, I mean, might as well think about it before you actually get it. And, I mean, but nothing's wrong with getting a tattoo. Like, you'll get
No.
every now and again somebody being like, well, if God wouldn't have, if God would have wanted you to have a tattoo, he wouldn't have put it on you. And it's like, yeah, it's called the birthmark. So, but instead, you get a piece of artwork on your body and it looks cool. I mean, some I've seen that look really, really cool, and some that I've seen are not cool. Some
Yeah.
actually just absolutely look like garbage. But it all depends on who you go to and
Yep.
how
So
you plan
so
it out.
do your research on your artist.
Absolutely,
Do your
absolutely.
research, and if that's your artist that does it and they do a good job, tip him well.
Yes,
Because
absolutely.
with the guy I go to, he does amazing work, and anytime whatever the cost is of the tattoo, that guy gets half. He gets tip of at least whatever however much half is.
Now, do you want to shout out your tattoo artist?
Billy Whaley at Extreme Inc. in Clarksville, Indiana.
All right. Shout out to Billy. And if you're ever in Indiana, to all my listeners, and you want a tattoo, try and see if you can schedule something with Billy. But figured we give Billy a little shout out, give him some more business.
There you go.
So, but hey, I mean, you got any questions for me by any chance?
Let's see.
Oh man, he's like, let's see. That don't mean it's good. Well, let's find out.
No, honestly, I just want to. I'm just very interested in what you are doing nowadays, because it's been how long since I've actually seen you in person.
Oh, dude. I mean, it's been so long, man. Like, I mean, I got a beard now and everything. So, like,
hey, me too.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Last time I saw you, oh shoot, man.
It was before I got married.
No, it wasn't. It was after you got married.
It was before I had my first son.
Yeah, that's right. Holy crap.
So it's been
5 years.
It's been 5.5 years.
Wow. That's insane. I'm gonna have to take a trip to Indiana.
I'm not gonna lie. I tried to get you to come down when I was trying to get that guitar for you. I'm like,
you did?
Should I send this or say, how bad do you really want?
Oh, okay. That would have been a good idea.
But I figured I'd be the nice cousin and send it to you.
Well, shoot. Like, I mean, if you would have
didn't want to make you go out of your way to get something.
No, I mean, shoot. As soon as I got it, like as soon as it arrived, it was like Christmas morning. Like I just went straight into my closet to grab the guitar hanger and hang it right next to the other guitar. But I get a lot of people. Everybody that comes over, they're like, "Wow, those are cool guitars." So I thank you so much for that one guitar. I really do. Like, that's insane.
Yeah, no, that was. I'm just glad it made it in one piece.
Oh yeah, me too, dude. Me too.
I'm just glad it made it in one piece, because I know what can happen in the mail.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, but shoot, like I really feel like with how things are going right now. Shoot, I think we should. I think I should take a trip, maybe like for the weekend or something like that, down to Indiana and see what we can do and stuff like that.
I got a room for you.
Hey, that works. Maybe we can have another conversation on the podcast and do that again.
Yeah, absolutely.
That'd be fun. Yeah. So, but Ryan, thank you so much for coming on to the podcast. I'm sure I'll be getting a lot of people that say, "Wow, you have a country or southern cousin."
Yeah, I know.
So
howdy, y'all.
Yeah, there you go. I love it. But Ryan, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. I very much appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, little cuz.
All right.
Wow.